the dignitaries to the minister, and then through the players. They line up in number order. Yanni Duplessis, Eben Etzebeth, Jean-Andre Krier, Francois Lowe, Willem Alberts, Dwayne Vermeulen, Ruan Pienaar, Morné Steyn, JJ Engelbrecht, Bjorn Basson, all ready to take up the cudgels for their country. Brian Habana there, and then the replacement, Siya Kolisi, starting to get his name embedded in this Springbok setup. Also Mark Alexander is there, the Deputy President of South African Rugby. And you can hear the vuvuzelas, the Bafana Bafana. If you didn't watch it earlier, beat Burkina Faso 2-0. A goal right at the end gave them the 2-0 lead. And a very welcome win for them, which had the crowd in absolute raptures.
It's a day for South Africa winning, isn't it? Bafana Bafana, the Springboks. And also a word to Anaso Tobodwana, who will be in the 200-meter final this evening against Usain Bolt at the World Athletics Championships.
And so here we go with the national anthems. Brandon October.
Sean eternos los laureles que supimos conseguir, que supimos conseguir. Coronados de gloria vivamos, oh juremos con gloria morir, oh juremos con gloria morir, oh juremos con gloria morir.
Così si che leli Africa, malupakan Yesu pondolwayo, Iswa imitana zoyetu. Così si che lela tina lusa polwayo, murena boluka se chava sa Yesu, ofedise di duale matswenye, si boluke, si chava sa Yesu, se chava sa South Africa, South Africa. Hij blauw van onze hemel, uit die diepte van ons ziel, voor ons eeuwige gewaartes, wat die kranse antwoord geeft. Sounds the call to come together, and united we shall stand. Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa.
So for the 16th time since 1993, the 6th of November 1993, South Africa will play Argentina for the 16th time. They've won 14 of them, one drawn. And that first test ever against them, my co-commentator Joel Stransky was the fly half.
Oh, it's a long time ago, isn't it? Hopefully it'll be a little less stressful for South African fans today. That game was won the last few minutes with us hanging on. Hopefully the Springboks this afternoon will get one over Felipe Contepomi's. They are, of course, missing their talisman, Fernando Lobes, who has a slight calf strain, we're led to believe. But what a loss he is for this Pumas team. Interesting to see how the front row go today. Big changes in the scrum laws and the set. And Chris Pollock will have his hands full marshalling those areas of the game. It's an area that Argentina are absolutely famous for. How will the beast, Adrian Strauss and Yanni du Plessis, cope this evening?
So New Zealand, France, Ireland are represented amongst the officials, and also Eric Gouzan, the TMO from France. Chris Pollock, his second test in which South Africa have been involved. Steyn and Pienaar sizing up his options, and it's a very, very good touch finder. Thrown onto his unfavoured foot.
Probably not quite the ultimate structured return of kick-off, but ultimately a good result. Ruan Pienaar forced onto that left foot by Morné Steyn, and he has hit a spiralling torpedo across to the other side. Good kick.
So clean line out ball from number 8, Senatore.
Not straight, surely.
Not straight from Kinazu, who plays for Bath with Francois Lowe.
Interesting start coming in from the visitors. Well, there's a set piece gone away from the Argentines. Going to go back to the kickoff with a pack of forwards. They got a little kick, a lot shallow, get it, and really mix it up with the South African tight 5, but didn't do that. It opted to go long. And this is a moment we've all been waiting for, the new sequence of scrum time, with Argentina being renowned for their scrumming.
Well, they spent some time with Graham Henry as well. Quickly taken by Pienaar to Villiers.
Through the big dummy, not bought by anyone. Oh, and a knock-on from Willem Alberts.
Well, he was just on the go there, was Willem Alberts, and unable to hold on.
Jean de Villiers carried it up strongly through the dummy. The pass was way out in front. I think Willem Alberts will think the pass wasn't the best, but that he should still have gathered it. Opportunity missed for South Africa. It's an ideal scenario, isn't it, to get the likes of Alberts running into the smaller Argentinian backs early on, softening them up, making them make a few hard, tough tackles. So that was probably the worst bind we've ever seen, really. It was almost that the players collapsed gently into the first scrum or second scrum this afternoon.
Well, it's to be expected, as both sets just really trying to settle in, get accustomed to the new sequence. Once again, we're talking to Springbok scrum coach, who was saying tight 5 needs to be a lot stronger, a lot fitter than before. The technique will definitely come in, and that is another area being blown by the referees. A skew put in by the scrum halves.
Well, we saw quite a lot of that in Absa Currie Cup rugby last night, and so it is a situation where scrum halves have to be very careful.
Probably a good thing, really. I mean, the laws of the game say you've got to put it in straight as we see the up and under. Just do it right first time.
Hernandez, Habana got down very quickly. Habana playing in the number 11 jersey, but on the right wing.
Chased well, though. It was a super take from Hernandez. Habana didn't quite run his legs up, but got underneath him as he came down. The mark was called. So Hernandez will have to take the kick himself.
Found touch well quickly in by Steyn. Now Willie Leroux. Work here for Senatore.
No problem! Right screen!
Landasho. Away for Sanchez.
Good touch finder. Morné Steyn was trying to cover that space. He was maybe a little bit deep, but the kick was decent. It chases the Springboks back. The Pumas into Springbok territory. Interesting to see the movement of the Springbok players already, as Heineke Meyer and his team are not quite concerned at this point. They'll be a little bit stressed.
Sean Roux there.
Hugh Bladen in the background.
Good take by Jean-Ray Krier.
Brilliant drive here by South Africa. Good body position.
Strauss is looking to take the ball up. This is what they're looking for from Alberts. Pienaar. Well, nearly away, just a little ankle tap hindering him. Advantage to South Africa.
3.
Penalties against Diaz.
3.
Decent little dart from Ruan Pienaar. He was really copped a bit of criticism for being a bit slow to the breakdown in the earlier test this year in June. Got there quickly. First indication is a kick at goal for Morné Steyn.
Well, they say Diaz represented Argentina at under 19 and under 20 level. At under 20 level this year.
So this is the little dart. Did well to get away. Looked like he was gone. In fact, he got tripped by Diaz, and maybe that was what the penalty. And then it was Diaz who managed to get his hands on the ball as well. Clearly it's done some damage to the laces, or at least untied his boots, Ruan Pienaar. 77% Morné Steyn. That's an incredible record at this level.
So he's kicked 110 penalties for his country. Will this be Nelson? Yes, it will.
It's almost like South Africa have not been out of their half except for the odd up and under. First chance they've got, Morné Steyn has knocked it over. Super kick, pretty decent strike, far out. And a very valuable 3 points.
Hernandez with the kickoff. Habana. Well, Steyn under a little bit of pressure there. Good counter-rucking by the Pumas. Senatore, the number 8 who took that ball, was playing for the Pampas 15 earlier this year in the Vodacom Cup.
He also a bit too deep to receive that kick. Expected a much longer kick from Morné Steyn. Senatore.
So good steal by Etzebeth. Lovely ball by Pienaar. Steyn, De Villiers, Engelbrecht. Bisson on the outside. Pienaar. Ooh, and a good bustling movement there by Contepomi. Over 80 test matches. In fact, he's playing his 82nd today.
So good jump by the Springbok line out. It's Etzebeth who got up very high with a tap. What was most impressive just after that, the way the Springbok backline realigned themselves quickly to run the ball forward.
Another good take by Jean-Ray Krier. And now they'll drive it over. Francois Lowe in possession.
Collapsed, penalty advantage.
Pienaar, Steyn. Well, he just went for the Brian Habana ball. And Brian Habana looks like he might have taken a bit of a knock there. And has stayed down.
Time off. Pascal, can you get that mark for me? Yeah.
I think it might have just been a shoulder in the rib.
Yeah, there's no movement on the bench as yet, so his teammate's pretty comfortable and confident that Brian will carry on playing, and he does too.
That roar from the crowd, from the half-centurion.
Jean Emhoff, it was it. He just got underneath him. Came down relatively toughly, but he's up very quickly, Brian Habana. He's a tough-spirited player.
Juan Emhoff, whose dad toured with the 1965 Pumas side, the first Pumas side ever to leave the Argentine shores. He came to South Africa and played about 15 games under the guidance of the great Isak van Heerden. Many of you Natal stalwarts of days of yore will remember Isak van Heerden and his innovative coaching style. And Morné Steyn will kick for goal.
Interesting call, this kick right up on the halfway. And considering where the Springboks have come in good form, they're good in the incoming series, a good pack of forwards. But then maybe they'll kick up field and get their line out and play.
Any breeze in the stadium you can feel that?
Not at all. It's a bit of swirling wind, but nothing to speak of. Definitely distance will never be a problem up here at altitude for Mornay Stadium.
Yeah, and I think the decision is the right one. Take the points whenever you can. It's a test match. The strike is good. And it's over.
It's over.
We've seen the Bulls come unstuck in recent times by not kicking their goals. The Springboks are not making that mistake. 2 opportunities, both quite far out. Both.
So far, the possession is all with South Africa. Habana. Steyn. No problem at all.
Well, I think this time around the kickoff worked exceptionally well. Exactly the way Argentina wanted to be. They kick deep. Now they got the feet just within the 15-meter line. But the line-out just hasn't gone according to plan.
Well, quite obviously they're looking to put pressure on that line-out. Albacete got that one away, but then Pienaar was round the back of the line-out to put the pressure on Landako. Just trying to get some sort of rhythm going. In hard goes Kariza. See, they're not really making much ground. Waiting for Landajo to get it away. On very nearly found a gap there. First bit of go-forward possession for Argentina.
And it was Brian Habana who jumped the defensive line and left a little bit of a gap.
Landako. Again for the scrum half. Then Senatore. Landajo. And Sanchez just pumping it for territory.
Decent little build-up from Argentina. Not gaining a huge amount of ground, but going through a number of phases around the fringes. Man on the left of your picture, Santiago Phelan, he'll be pretty content with that little passage. Eventually not coming too much in the kick, chasing South Africa back into their 22. But altogether, some real good ball retention.
The Pumas have slipped a little bit to 10th in the world rankings. They've beaten France over the years 12 times. They've beaten Australia 4 times. Adrian Strauss. Again, Krieger's good in the line-out. Pienaar. See how he could stand back and get the service from his forward. It's a huge kick by him. So Hernandez will look for ground. He's got that rather awkward kick inside. The Beast was there to kick, collected, decided to leave it for Willie Leroux. And that is... No, it wasn't out.
Right now it is.
Well, I was about to say that is out on the full. But not quite. Away from the brilliant, hey, John.
It certainly is, and well, for some of those Sundowns fans, they're out of their territory as well.
Some by the Pumas in the line-out. Strauss. There's always a bustling run from him.
So the game just hasn't settled quite fully. Both teams trying to just find a little bit of momentum, a little bit of rhythm in their style, in their play. The set phase, the line-out in particular, a little bit messy for Argentina at the moment. This is a second or third lost line-out. And then came the knock-on. Strauss did well to try and tidy it up and set a foundation for the box to get going, but to no avail.
Argentina's control the breakdown point. They've managed to recycle position a lot quicker than South Africa has.
I wonder if that isn't a hamstring injury, the way the fingers are being pressed into the right leg.
And warming up on the side is Julio Fares Cabello. There's a 22nd test match if he comes on, and it looks certain.
That's very disappointing. The most experienced forward in the Pumas pack, Albacetti, having to leave the field. And on comes the tough from Tukuman. Anybody who comes from Tukuman is tough.
It's a tough mountainous area, isn't it? The famous Battle of Tukuman in 1993. But big blow, Albacetti, not just experienced, but a real rock in this Pumas pack of forwards.
Good scrum.
The feed there from Dwayne Vermeulen. Had to go with and that's intelligent play there from Ruan Pienaar, going with the wheel of the scrum, just running out of space.
Trying to play down that blind side. They're trying to free up Bian Basson, wearing the 14, playing down the left. It's a better scrum this from Argentina, Owen.
Not at all. What's encouraging both sides? It's a contest. If anything, South Africa were looking for a slight right, didn't get it, but realised, got the left and carried on with that forward momentum.
Still no rhythm in this Pumas side because of the tough marking of the South Africans. Well, they're holding up as hard as they can, but eventually comes away for Sanchez. Jean de Villiers is there. Ooh, they just all stood and watched a little bit. Bit of basketball stuff, but now Leroux can get it away.
And he does, but direct into touch. It's Sanchez who's taking a bit of a blow as he went down, trying to make that kick. A lot of pressure on the kickers at the moment. Francois Lowe coming through there, just catching his ankle, spinning him. I think it's going to be more just a matter of clutching to the ground rather than any real damage. He looks all right. Philly Leroux is also under enormous pressure trying to make the clearance.
Well, Sanchez, who's plying his trade, you can see he has played Vodacom Cup in South Africa now with Bordeaux Begley. It's his 9th test match today. And the first penalty of the match to Argentina.
So I'm not sure it was the Beast who gave the penalty away as he came charging through there and made the hack ahead. Felipe Contepomi himself is the kicker. He'll have a shot at goal.
Well, just off screen.
Shot.
Well, there's infringement taking place. It was ball at the tail. Much better, but just not going to hand.
So the penalty, as you could see, was for 2 players in the scrum-half position, which means one of them was offside.
Well, not only is that man concerned, also Jean de Villiers has brought his troops in together just to have a chat and say we need to lift it up, we can play better rugby. No one is really taking control of this test match at the moment.
Felipe Contepomi played with his brother in the World Cup against South Africa in 2007 in the centre position. Top point scorer in Argentine rugby history. The flags are up and Argentina get on the board.
Well, Argentinian fans will be happy. Jean de Villiers clearly isn't happy at the moment. That's why he called the guys in and said to them, obviously, something along the lines of, you know, let's get settled, let's start playing our game, let's get into our patterns and find our rhythm.
First kick-off for South Africa. Well, they left it to Little Landoja. Probably not as far as he would have liked to have hoisted it. Vermeulen committing, but possession with Argentina. Away for Sanchez. Pienaar, always reliant on his hands. And, well, covered well there by Hernandez. Juan Martin Hernandez. Habana. Buzz of excitement as Habana got it, but gave it quickly to Steyn. Good hoist. And that's a good play.
Well, brilliant from Francois Lowe.
Originally it was Matiera, Pablo Matiera, who did very well with the take there.
Taking a bump on his head for his efforts. And then, yeah, it is Matera. And then it was Francois Lowe who got in there very quickly and who's forced the penalty. Renowned as a fetcher. He's had a great couple of seasons with Bath. Brilliant in the June tests. It's the tackle from Springbok captain John de Villiers good. And then look at Lowe, so quick to get in there. Look at the body position. Hands on the ball, strong low centre of gravity, his bum almost on the ground, almost impossible to move away.
Well, I was at the Springbok practice during the week, and under the guidance of Richie Gay, Francois Lowe was practicing just that, with tackling bags that have sort of handles on them almost, so they can yank them over. They body weight tackling bags. And Sia Khaleesi and Francois Lowe were piling into them. The festivities continue here at the FNB Stadium. Morno Steyn for the third time raises the flags.
I think Arnica Meyer will be quite content at the moment. The Springboks haven't played since June. They've struggled to find their rhythm a little bit early on, which was to be expected.
Steyn had to kick quickly again. Their chase up from the kickoffs has been good by the Pumas. Talk about Hanek. I would say that 3 meters from us.
Well, I think probably more like 1 meter from you. And you can see he's right next to us. So he's looking quite calm at the moment. We've seen him screaming down that microphone at times over the last period. He is a coach who really feels the stress of the game at times.
Chinazu with the throw-in. And contested there by Jean-Andre Kriel. South Africa contesting the lineouts pretty well. Good forward movement though for the Pumas.
Use it!
Argentina struggling a bit in the lineouts. They've lost 3 of their own.
Use it!
As the Pumas rumble around the fringe.
The referee saying use it on a regular basis. Worked out there by Karuza. He will now be sort of almost on his own in terms of line-out work. Imhoff trying to come into the back line and make an impression. Worked out by Landajo. Landajo again at close quarters. The dribble double around Sanchez. Then to the right winger Camacho. Hasn't had too much of the ball, but he's swirling around is good. Eventually held by Francois Lowe. Now Landacho away for Figalo. Strong tackle by Yanni Duplessis. Sanchez looking for an opening. Closed down by Krier. Phase 10 for the Pumas. Making some ground here. Springboks have missed those 4 tackles, and the penalty goes the way of the visiting team.
Adrian Strauss a little late at the breakdown there. The ruck adjudged to have been formed. And Felipe Contepomi will have another shot at goal. A little bit messy at times from the Argentines, but what they have done incredibly well is when it's not gone according to plan, they've managed to tidy it up very quickly. They've managed to reset, restructure, and get going again. This is where a ruck is formed now. You're not entitled to play the ball with your hands. And Adrian Strauss getting his big paws on that one.
So Dr. Felipe Contepomi studied at the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland. Now back with Newman, a famous club in Buenos Aires. And another very accurate kick raises his record even further, much to the delight of the supporters from Argentina.
Contapami he's got a little bit of an awkward kicking style at times. You can understand that it goes awry every now and then, but certainly looking on some today.
Good chase up by Bjorn Basson. See the Springboks not committing to the ruck at all. And Vermeulen is there. Good contesting for the ball. Nice little bit of play by Kinazu, the hooker. Landajo. So numbers up wide there. Tapped ahead there by Matiera. Now Willie Leroux looking for an opening. The switch to Basson. Pienaar, Steyn. Sanchez back then, deciding to run that out of his 22. Ooh, trying to dodge the massive frame of Yeben Sabeth. I would say slight net gain to South Africa because of the beast.
Yeah, and as a result, South Africa will put the ball into the line-out. It's a real clever little dart from the diminutive right-winger Gonzalo Camacho. The Springboks didn't really chase up and close down the space. It enabled him to just keep running and come back to the defensive line. And when he did get there, it was the front rows that were forced to defend the winger.
We also need South Africa need to find ways to get that front row in the tight five more into the game with ball in hand. Driving will be a good way to kick-start that movement.
De Villiers. Sanchez had to be careful not to lift it. Vermeulen brings a roar from the crowd. JJ Engelbrecht couldn't hold on.
Only lost forward.
Well, the first real line break we've seen this afternoon. Dwayne Vermeulen running a good line, good angle. The timing of the pass was good, and he ran at arms and not at bodies. And into the space he went. Look at this. Just against the grain at the body of at the arm of the defender, and he went into the space looking for support. Then came the pop pass, but Juan Martin Hernandez was just on the ball enough to get an arm out and stop that from going to hand. If it had gone to hand, the pace of JJ Engelbrecht, he may well have been in.
Saw the attempted tackle by Figalo there, who is renowned for making 12, 13, 14 tackles a game, which is a lot. Voted one of the best props, and Willie Leroux right behind the scrum. What can happen here?
Big blindside to work with as well for South Africa.
Blind!
Quality right shoulder, bringing Willie Leroux onto the blind.
Yes.
Argentinian defense a little hesitant as well.
Pienaar, Steyn, Leroux, there he comes, and Basson.
Oh, it's well defended.
Wasn't called forward by the referee. He looked very near to being forward.
It was a good move. It relied on the pace of Willie Leroux, the real out-and-out pace of Bjorn Basson on the outside. A little hesitant with Sanchez standing right behind the scrum, but look at that. Camacho, and he made the tackle.
Yeah, eventually a pretty good one by the Argentine right winger. See where Sanchez is in his in-goal area. It's not a big in-goal area here at the FNB Stadium. So good pressure by the Springboks.
And you may be wondering why the throw-in was taken so quickly, so close to the Argentine line. Albacete injured, which only really leaves Manuel Carriza as a line-out option, and the Tumito 2 second row is all alone, and that's part of the field. Farias, who's come on to replace Albacete, he's only 1.93 meters, so no real line-out options for Argentina as the ball
this
comes.
could build for the Springboks here. France on low, 5-meter line looming. They've got about 8 meters to go. Even Pienaar's in the maul.
It's good Argentinian defense.
So you see Basson in there as well. Now Adrian Strauss. Quick ball from Pienaar. Steyn. De Villiers, wasn't a great pass. They'll come back for the penalty.
Number 8.
Penalties against Senatorial. Well, the crowd looking like they're having a good day, but maybe a little concerned with the way things are going at the moment. not quite according to plan. Well, there's a groin injury. Look at that. That's where the doctor's hands are.
Yeah, it's not good. It could be Matera.
You can understand why it's happening as well. Bulk of the Argentine players are coming off the off-season. So they're battling as well just to get their set pieces on the go. The line-out's under a bit of pressure. But just a number of key players just going down earlier on in the game. They had 2 warm-up games on Australia, but not quite to the intensity that they're up against this afternoon.
The Springboks will leave to fly to Buenos Aires and then over to Mendoza on the western side of Argentina to play their test match next week.
And no surprise after that last rolling maul, which had some good momentum to start. Jean de Villiers has said, let's kick it in the corner and try again.
Good take, gets a best. Obviously, the Pumas have worked on countering the Springboks' tough maul.
And the Tagada's offside.
Here they go. Francois doing well to lay that back. Goes now to Alberts. Into Herrera. Help from Yanni Duplessis. And the drive coming again. Pinar, quick hands to Strauss. Pinar again, did he knock that on? No, he didn't. Jean de Villiers wrestling, can he get over? Referee right on the spot, and you've got to say good defence by the Pumas.
Well, I think Philip Contepomi is saying there was a knock-on back there by Pinar.
Offside, 7.
Offside is the call against Leguizamon. So good continuity from South Africa, finding their straps to some extent, getting the pick and go strong around the fringes, making the hard yards, and once again deciding to have a go with the forwards. When it did come out, Jean de Villiers was just hung on to by his bootlace. That was the offside against Leguizamon. He came up very quickly, made a good tackle, but maybe a little too quick.
One of the things South Africa need to do from this line-out to shift the contact point after winning the line-out. With that, they'll be able to get more space and score the try.
They need to go open field as well. First requirement fulfilled. Jean-Andre Krier working hard, calling his troops to try harder.
It's more patient this time, isn't it?
Strauss in possession.
That's a penalty.
That
might have been a penalty try.
Where's Chris Pollock going?
Time off, please.
Well, he was on his way to the post, and it may well be.
Yes, Chris. John, I've got it. Can you have a look at that, please, foul play? Just put it on the big screen.
Checking full play.
He's going to put it on the big screen so the entire crowd can see it.
Yanni Duplessis and some of the Springboks are heading back to the halfway line, I think. First reaction was penalty try from Chris Pollock. I think that might be his ultimate decision. It was a well-structured maul, nice and patient. Strauss broke away. This pass was undoubtedly a try-scoring pass. That is a slap down, and no doubt about it, Kinazu has certainly interfered from a try being scored. Cynical.
I think Rion Pienaar would have scored there himself. Yep. He had a man on his outside, but he had the power to get over there.
He wouldn't have needed the man on the outside.
Eric,
can we get a white? Can we ask for a white angle on that, please?
From France.
So the other question is, if it is a penalty try, does Guinazu get a yellow card?
Yes, Guinazu will get a yellow card, I think, in any event.
It's coming.
Thanks, mate.
You wonder as well if any of the Argentine players were on side on that blind side.
Well, I mean, Landajo, do you see him? The only player around there I reckon Ron Pienaar would have thrown his way over, and the penalty try is given.
So great reward for the Springbok packer forwards. The maul this time was much better structured. It was nice and patient. They moved the ball to the back. They controlled it. There was no real frenetic, fast leg drive. It was all very structured. And when the space showed itself on the outside, Strauss and Pienaar had the sense and ability to change the call, move the ball into that space, and ultimately force a penalty try.
Guinazu played for the Stormers and for Boerland.
Well, defence just couldn't hold up no more.
Vermeulen. Pienaar. Well taken by Senatore. Hernandez. Pienaar. Happy to take on the kicking duties himself. Hold. Taken quickly by Agulla.
12.
Stein. Leroux. And he loves to do that, but that's great cover there by the scrum half, Landajo.
No impact.
Got the ball away to Camacho. Sanchez. Hernandez right on the outside, making a little bit of ground. Well, covered. Stein took his eyes off it, and Jean-Jacques Kriel had to make the tackle there.
Tackle, no problem.
Imhoff. We're building up here Argentina. Looks like it might come for Pienaar though.
Think you come. 3.
And they'll want to put pressure on Leroux, who's way back and not much space to move. Good tack there by Senatore. Vermeulen stood up to the tackle very well. Landajo, Sanchez. Now they've got men out in midfield there. It is Guizemont. Good pick up by Camacho. Now Morné Stein and Leroux. And shall we go? And it's JJ Engelbrecht who will run away for his 4th try in 5 test matches. JJ Engelbrecht.
So finally something for the big crowd to shout about. Penalty try a couple minutes ago, and now it's a breakaway from inside their own half from the Springboks. JJ Engelbrecht has rounded it off. It came from some real solid defence as the Pumas attacked. And then look at this, Willie Leroux, that little chip over the top. We know how dangerous it can be. And the little chip bouncing nicely for Engelbrecht. No one at home for Argentina, and surely a 7-pointer. Trouble at the back for Argentina. Hernandez has been replaced with a calf strain by Agulla. And it's all happening while that man there is in the sin bin. Guinazu off for a cynical charge down. And South Africa are out to a 23 points to 6 lead.
Well, Morné Stein putting on the finishing touches, but it's an attacking mindset South Africa's been talking about all week, running within deep in their own half. Willie Leroux spotting the opening, just too flat, and the mismatch was created as well, and it's set up beautifully, and a great finish from JJ Engelbrecht. Made his debut exactly a year ago against Argentina in Newlands.
JJ Engelbrecht has used his tremendous acceleration to great effect this year. Only one game he's played in where he hasn't scored a try. Pienaar, Habana will give chase. Senatore.
Oh, he's knocked it on. It's going pear-shaped for Argentina at the moment. The injuries are mounting up. It's Albacete who is off in the 13th minute. Hernandez in the 31st. A sin bin for Guineazou in the 30th minute as Bafana sit and look on. They too had a good victory this afternoon against Burkina Faso. It was an important victory as well, having come a little unstuck against Nigeria in midweek.
Well, the first scrum on since Guineazou has come off, so Augustin Creevy needs to come on to make sure the scrum carries on. So we need a specialised hooker, specialised front ranker. Well, that's why the reason for the hold-up.
So Imhoff comes off. Interesting that they brought a wing off the field and kept the 8-man scrum.
It is interesting, one man short in defence, but I suppose it's quite unique. Neil Tovey, who was very active this morning, playing for Bafana Legends, Masters team.
I think they lost that game 1-0.
They lost. He said they were all a bit slow. Wonderful icon of South African football.
Neil Tovey sitting there with his daughter. So it is an 8-man scrum with the backs weakened. Just 6 backs out there to defend. Now, what are the Springboks conjure up here?
Well, they've got to have a go, don't they? They've got to really start running at this one-man short back line. They've capitalised so far.
Sanchez is sort of standing behind the scrum, the fly half, to try and just cover that blind side area.
He's going to have to motor to get across there.
You can see that wide shot for a moment there of the Argentine back division. They could be lacking numbers here. Quickly played for Bartholomew Stein. Now away for Villiers to open up the space. Then for Bjornsson. Jean de Villiers was a man who was skipped and doubled around. Quick ball required. It comes to Alberts. Breaching the defence, so they're on the front foot. You can see them. Front foot ball Stein. Now Strauss has broken the tackle. So again the Springboks on the front foot. Now Leroux.
Almost through the gap was Leroux.
And Willem Alberts is through, but the referee doesn't like it.
Not sure if it was a forward pass or if there was a bit of accidental offside as Alberts ran into Jean de Villiers.
But they've got a penalty right in front of the posts.
Offside, 16 blue.
I'd be tempted to take a scrum right now.
Yeah, so Yanni Duplessis saying we should go for the scrum, but he got a tight hit, calling. Look at that, you can see he's signaling with his hands. You've got to take the scrum.
Well, he was a prop forward.
He's pleading for it.
He's Jean de Villiers, as I said, kick for goal, take the 3. So the committee not getting a vote, the captain deciding. I just think with one man short, it's a simple 3 points. And I don't want to put the knockers on Mornay Stein. Now there's the accidental offside. And Jean de Villiers in front of the ball carrier. As the ball gets popped over the post, but with him off on the side of the field as a result of the yellow card, the space would have been out wide. The wingers would have been screaming for a scrum.
You never get a sight where a tight-head prop is pleading for a scrum right under the post. Jean de Villiers, oh, look at that. Oh, sight to behold for all front rankers out there.
Oh, well, Jean de Villiers not taking any notice and stamping his authority as skipper. Dwayne Vermeulen. Pinar. Now, what can they conjure up here with Aguilar?
Aguilar may well have been held up.
Move.
Yeah, held up he was. More is the call from Chris Bullock.
You on that side?
Figaro, the last man to
Good. Cheers, mate.
get back on his feet there, got back to support Aguirre. So that yellow card will run right until half-time by the look of things. It was Aguirre who carried it up strongly. He chose two of the best defenders, the biggest men to take it up against. Etzebeth and Francois Lowe. The Beast jumped in there to try and help. And that ball was never going to come out of that little melee.
Well, it's amazing that stat shows Argentina with more possession than South Africa.
Blind!
I think it was a couple of those phases where they picked and went around the fringes for long periods.
Absolutely quickly taken by Pinar to Villiers. Tackle by Sanchez. Pinar gained very quickly behind his forwards, and here goes Etzebeth. The big 21-year-old. Pinar digging, Stein, Strauss, Mtoriera. And then he saw the little gap. Now Strauss has doubled around well again. Pinar.
From the side.
So illegal cleaning out there by Yanni du Plessis. Side entry. And one might say probably not necessary.
Yeah, it was a good structured play. It was well carried out by Strauss as the half-time hooter goes. And Yanni du Plessis on the side, not from behind the last man's feet with the shoulder. Unnecessary penalty, and opportunity spurned by the Springboks on the brink of half-time.
So the whistle for half-time has gone as South Africa lead by 26 points to 6, and we will just have a look, see what is going to happen here. And Owen Kamani has dashed onto the field, and he's with Tendai.
Well, I'm with the Beast of Tairira. First half and the new scrumming laws. How did that go?
No, it felt good. We're really coming well together as a pack, so we'll just continue there.
So you everybody feels settled well, the binding. You're working a lot harder than before?
Yeah, obviously. But it's good for us, and we adapted really well, so we're just looking forward to getting better and better.
Big chance here to get the 5 points, 2 more tries the second half possible.
Yeah, no, we're still going to get back. Second half is a new start, so we're just looking forward to build it up in the second half again.
Good luck.
Thanks, sir.
So that is the situation at the moment. South Africa have made the most of their opportunities. They lead by 20 points. Most of the possession, you will find that the South Africans have dominated the territorial situation. They lead by 20 points. And their first points came Ruan Pinar just taking on his opposite number. Little bit of a trip there. The referee has been right on the spot, I think, this afternoon. Not too many problems, and the first penalty went the way of Morné Steyn. A long ball, beautifully struck.
It's 4 minutes later before Morné Steyn converted a second, and then in the 17th minute it was Argentina who finally got on the scoreboard. Felipe Contepomi knocked one over. It wasn't the Beast who gave the penalty away. It was South Africa having 2 scrum halves, effectively one man offside. And Contepomi, from a pretty toughish angle for our right footer, made no mistake.
Well, this was a situation where the hooker got his mark. The referee consulted with the TMO. Now you can see the referee trotting over, and the penalty try given, easily converted by Steyn.
And with one man short, the Pumas were always going to struggle a little bit. They pushed hard and they attacked quite nicely, but the South African defence was resolute. When the ball was spilled, it was up to that man, Willie Leroux, to capitalise. He made the little chip over the top. No one at the back there. Hernandez was off, and Goulier had been up in the line attacking. JJ Engelbrecht was quick to pounce. Easy run in for a man of his speed, but good counter-attack, good capitalisation on turnover ball. And at that point, South Africa jumped into a 23 points to 6 lead. It was a penalty on the stroke of half-time from Morné Steyn that made it 26 points to 6. And you might ask how that can be possible. South Africa had less possession, made more tackles, than their opponents, and yet they have led so convincingly on the scoreboard. 6 turnovers conceded by Argentina, a number of handling errors, and too many balls turned over. So just looking through those stats, both teams have moved the balls to the wing a bit. I'm not quite sure about that. Bjorn was more involved than just the once to the wing. But altogether, a big ask for the Pumas in the second half.
Sport and Recreation Day. South Africa lead 26-6. Let's go to Arn and Kamani.
Some good tries, but
well, we saw having a chat there to Johan van Graan, the assistant coach. In fact, at the practice the other day, Johan van Graan was running the show very much with the whistle, with advice coming from Heineke Meyer and the other members of the coaching staff. So we will resume play. The Pumas side is already on the park. Remember last year that South Africa beat the Argentine side 27-6 at Newlands, and 1 week later went and battled to draw the game in the hostile environs of Mendoza. So they'll look to stamp their authority, I would say, on this game. I see that Lobo is on the field, the Newcastle player. So a number of replacements coming on. He's in the front row. Springboks have taken the field with no replacements. So they've got Creevy on at hooker. They've got Lobo on at in the prop position. He's only 21 years old. Vinnie LaRue, who set up J.J. Engelbrecht's try quite beautifully with that little dink of his over the top, which he's done to great effect for the Cheetahs during the Super Rugby season. And also they've got Agula in the full-back position. Agula, another one of those Bath players. 10 of these players ply their trade in France, England and Ireland. So 40 minutes to go for this first leg of the Springbok and Argentine championship situation. Well, there's another replacement on the park. So that looked like 7 was offside. Well, it's 8 to chase it up, Santore.
Good reaction from Gizimoni. He heard the call from Chris Pollock shouting 7 offside and retreated. Up goes Dwayne Vermeulen. Just maybe disrupted, not interfered with, but certainly disrupted by the chase. Santori it was who was quick to get up there. NBC for Reed Dupree. They'll be hoping to get on very shortly. Kuni Uesthuizen also stretching and showing some intent.
So it wasn't another replacement for the Pumas. It was Camacho who took up the scrum half position.
Sit!
Landacho's still there.
And the yellow carded Kinezu is back on for Creevy.
Tavilio stained. LaRue, another little Jenkins. Whoa, very nearly collected it himself.
Oh, he is a maestro at it, isn't he? Creating some good space on the outside, South Africa. The outside backs trying to get everybody involved. Urbana with a big smile on his face. And look at that, LaRue. The little step, and then comes the little dink, and it almost turned out to be a dink for himself as the cover defence came across, saving the day for the Pumas.
The other thing is, Joel, that he can do it with either foot.
And he stepped off the left there so easy and immediately ball on the right and tipped it over into space.
Exhibit, powerful in the line out. Now Francois Lowe, good ball away for Albert. Nice variation by the Springboks. Worked out by Pino. Nothing wrong with a catch on the bounce. Good pick up by Strauss. Pienaar again, away for De Villiers. Sanchez strong in the tackle.
Roll tackler!
Up to the 22, South Africa dominating territory again. Now Etzebeth. Good low tackle it was there by the Marsh. Two South Africans can use that bag of tricks again. Habana dropped it.
Vantage blue.
Well played by Figalo.
He does get around Figalo, doesn't he?
Two!
Landajo. And then the little dink is stopped by Mtawarira, picked up by Daniel Bracht.
Rosford no advantage, under
And
pressure the whole
another
time.
man, I think it's Sanchez receiving attention.
Habana showing the disappointment on his face. Was that a try-scoring opportunity? We'll have a look in a second here. Again, Willie Leroux trying to set things up.
He was away, I
He
think.
was away. Willie Leroux had sucked in Emhoff on the outside, and Juan Emhoff had left a little hint of a space, certainly enough for Brian Habana to sneak in the outside and improve on his try-scoring record.
58.1% of games he scored in his 87th test.
It's an incredible record, isn't it?
Amazing how he and Jean de Villiers have just step by step. Jean de Villiers 88 tests, Brian Habana 87 tests. Brian Habana looking for 51 tries. Brian Habana in his own right, he's the fourth highest scorer of all time with those 50 tries of his. Record still held by Monty, way ahead of Mornay-Stan.
The worst South African scrum we've seen this afternoon, but great pressure from the Argentines. I've got a feeling that the Beast of Tahrir never really settled from that scrum.
No, it doesn't look like Yanni du Plessis settled either, as the pressure came from the fresh legs of Naul Lobo, another young man, 21 years old, as we look up into the stand at Minister Fikile Mbulula, the Minister of Sport. And he'll be very proud of what he's achieved with this Nelson Mandela Sport and Cultural Day.
Well, you can see Landajo feeling that scrum early, bind, early set, one might now say, by the Pumas front row.
So a little dink into the corner. It's going to be from Mornay-Stan. The maul will once again be set up. And one man will have to be very careful not to give away another yellow card. Will be Ginazu, because that would be disastrous for the Pumas. Slightly early on the engagement. And a bit of scratching of the heads there.
On the left-hand side of your screen, Santiago Fila, the Pumas coach, played over 40 tests himself for them. Now, Jean-Jacques Krier. They've driven well off the line out of the Pumas, but the South Africa 8 just regrouping.
One's half!
On John Strauss. Can he get his fourth try and test rugby? I think he can.
Try.
So the crowd celebrates here at FNB Stadium. Adrian Strauss will be the man who gets credited with a 5-pointer, but it'll be a pack of forwards that celebrate another superbly structured maul. The photo of the grandfather of this country, Nelson Mandela, carried by the South African football fans, who are smiling on as the Springboks conquer the Argentinians at the moment. It was a well-structured maul. The leg drive was strong, and as soon as it splintered enough for that man to use his explosive power, he powered through the middle and crossed the line himself. He was very clever, and Ruan Pienaar at the back had a hand on him. He was waiting to pull him to the side and say, let's peel again and go around the fringe. It wasn't on. Then came the splinter, then the leg drive, and over went Strauss. Try number 3 for South Africa. One more try for the bonus point.
6 out of 6 it is for Mornay-Stan. 16 points on the evening, and that goes up to 18.
Well, it was the ball at the tail that really created the space and uncertainty from the Argentines. A lot of them, tight five, never got involved there. They're watching the blind side with that. South Africa loaded 0-8 and the driving ball. Hooker out in stride, the try scorer.
Vermeulen, back for Pienaar. Senatore.
Right.
Long ball into Guja.
Brilliantly taken by Willie Leroux.
He's having a super time here is Willie Leroux. This is the sort of rugby that suits his style. Bjorn Basson just two tests, two
Heads
tries
up,
in
12!
his 10 tests. Desperately looking for another. Worked out there by Landajo. Pressure is good from Willem Alberts. That's a little bit of super moving of the ball there by the Pumas pack, and that, when you kick like that, is not enough ground gained.
Some real good intent to move the ball around. One or two nice little slip passes. And the man on the left there is Santiago Phelan. He'll be very concerned about the way his team are going at the moment. Showed some good signs there. And then comes the accidental charge from Juan Nemhoff. And then Willie Leroux. And, well, it's a tough old game.
The guys who are standing there waiting for the up and unders, coming off a bit second best. It's the best been a tower of strength in the line out for Vermeulen.
Over the gain line. Good to see.
Springbok forwards have had a lot of front football. Lovely dummy by Pienaar. Watch how they run onto the ball. 3-7.
Use it!
Alberts it is. Now Strauss. It's a bit. Alberts, they're not having
12.
to run backwards at all. Pienaar saying I want it now. Wait for Jean-Jacques. Pienaar. Yanni Duplessis, the forwards are enjoying themselves right now. Pienaar going away for Jean de Villiers now. Ooh. A bit of a dangerous tackle there in the heat of the moment by Senatore.
Time's off.
So then we might have a report here. We might have another look at
Don't
that
take
tackle.
to start tapping Eben Etzebeth on the cheek. You'll come off second best.
John, settle down.
Eben Etzebeth, one of the Argentine players went and tapped Eben Etzebeth on the cheek. Etzebeth thought that was a bit hard and started to retaliate.
Well, if you know the Etzebeth family at all, you'll know where that breeding comes from. He's not a man who you tap lightly anywhere on the face.
Yeah, sure. See you, mate.
So is this a dangerous tackle? It certainly looked like it. It certainly looked as if the tackle went above waist height and the tackled player was not brought down safely. Jean de Villiers took exception.
He's wanted it thrown up on the big screen. Senatore it is on JJ Engelbrecht.
Perfect till here, shoulder in. Then comes the pickup. If you do pick someone up, you've got to put them down safely. He's tipped. Oh, it's nasty.
That could be a yellow card.
That is no doubt a yellow card.
What do you reckon, Abe?
Yeah, it should be a yellow card. It definitely took him over.
Shannon, please.
Made no effort to bring him down safely.
Well, he tipped him as well, which is the dangerous part. So look at this. This is textbook till here. Drive him back now. Don't pick him up.
Yeah, you see he's picked him up. As you said, so right, Joel. Drive him back.
And then comes the turn and the tip. And what happens as a result is that the player, Engelbrecht, comes down shoulder, neck and head first.
Look at Jean de Villiers in the background.
Oh, so dangerous.
So down to 14 men again. If the Springboks keep their structures, keep their concentration, they probably will produce quite a few replacements. The floodgates could open up a bit in the last 20 minutes.
Well, they could open up from right now when Pumas was in the sin bin a little bit earlier with the results of a penalty try. We saw another try and a penalty, so It was at least the 10 points plus the penalty try which he caused that hurt the Argentines rather badly. Can South Africa wreak the same havoc this time?
Now, put point.
For Mullen.
Great defense from Argentina.
Same ball.
They've defended pretty well from most of the lineouts. See that just scrambling sort of defense. It's a bit working hard. Pinar, Strauss, good change of direction. Stein to Villiers. Well defended by Sanchez, the more diminutive fly half. Now Strauss has really been around the park, enjoying himself, the Cheetah skipper. Jean-Ray Krier helping Yanni Duplessis. Now to Herrera. Pino getting a lot of front football.
No problem.
Muller. Good defense there by the Leguizamon. Now it's JJ Engelbrecht. That explosive pace of his, it's deceptive. Pino away for Strauss once again. How many more carries will he have? Pino once again. Yanni Duplessis holding it up for Etzebeth. They have to go low on the man who's 2.03 meters just below the world high jump record. Now it's Mornay Stein. This is Willie LaRue. Beautiful skip and they botched it.
You can't ask for more. You can't ask for better.
Well, there were three guys there, and I'm not sure that any one of them knew he was going to catch it.
Just needed to be simple hands. All the hard work was done.
They're still going back, sorry Joel, for the penalty.
The Argentinian defence has been so strong and resolute. They'd run out of numbers though. The space was on the outside. South Africa moved it there, and the simple hands not able to just get into someone on the outside and run it in. Yanni Duplessis having another conference with Jean de Villiers. Bonus point time, that's the call.
Yanni Duplessis just wants to scrum.
I don't blame him as well, especially when things are going your way at scrum time. They get so much they can learn against one of the best scrumming nations in the world. Good lead to really take the scrum. They're down to 8 to 7 men at scrum time. You can always run it in with an extra 8-9 move. The 8th man is not there.
Plus the fact, Jane, that they seem to put an 8-man scrum in, so there are only 6 defenders.
Yep.
Strauss with the throw. He's been spot on this evening.
No problem.
Spot on. He's having a fantastic game. Now to Willem Alberts. Can he thunder his way over? And the try is given. Willem Alberts gets his 6th international try. And South Africa get a bonus point.
And well, the scrum may have been a good option. No doubt the line out in the maul, the perfect option. The throw was good, as we've said. Strauss has been on song all night. The structure was good. Pumas defence not as aggressive this time, and Splinter just really not enough numbers there, and the Springboks going through very easy. The leg drive was good. Look at the body position from Alberts. Could see the white line. Over he goes. Another good team try. Another good forward try for South Africa.
Desperate defence by Guineazou, but just too much power in that Springbok pack. I think the huge factor is that they're getting such good go-forward ball.
It's almost every time Dwayne van Meulen or Alberts carries the ball forward, they get the good go-forward ball. Strauss has also been incredible in the ball-carrying stakes. Yanni Duplessis enjoyed a bit of ball carrying. And Mornay Stein has not enjoyed that kick. He's finally missed one. He's had a brilliant evening with the boot so far. First one that's gone awry.
They're very patient here, South Africa. And once again, they get rewarded. Never pretty, but always effective. Bonus point try. And that man there, Farid Duprier, will earn his 63rd cap for South Africa. Last time they played was the Rugby World Cup 2011 in the quarterfinals. And also up front, big change where it's Bismarck Du Plessis was taken over from Adrian Strauss for his 49th cap.
Habana has had very few opportunities this evening in a relatively open game for Rita Priya. Now playing out of Santore Sun Goliath. launches a high one. Now, chance here for Jean de Villiers to just say thank you very much. Anticipated it perfectly, and Jean de Villiers gets his 22nd try in international rugby.
Well, South Africa are really strong in chasing the kicks up. Babana and Biombason in particular chased well all evening, all game, all season. And as that kick was chased, the hallelujah pass inside, de Villiers had filled the space well. It was almost like Christmas, an early gift. He just ran onto it like it was meant for him. Soft try to give away. Look at this. The kick is a decent one from Farid Dupree. The chase, here comes, is that Brian Abana up on that side, and Sean de Villiers through the middle. Bjorn Basson was up there very quickly on the outside. The kick chase very, very good indeed as Morne Steyn pops one over. 45 points to 6. It's a rout.
Well, with that try, 5th one for South Africa, it raises the local fans here onto their feet, but he's done that so many times for South Africa, and the Stormers read it well, and a good try by Captain Courageous.
So still the little yellow tag there of the sin bin for Santori, and while he's been away, it's 12 points and a minute or so to go still.
So we now have to start looking at the record books. And right now, I think I'm right in saying this is just about the biggest defeat South Africa have ever imposed on the Pumas.
There's a brilliant touch finder from Morne Steyn. Trying the Argentines deep in their own 22 once again.
Oh, that's straight for when you're under pressure and the scoreboard's mounting against you, and every time you look up, you head on back into your red zone. It is thoroughly demoralising. And fresh legs, more fresh legs for South Africa as Flip van der Merwe makes his way, and Jean Recruit comes up. And Guthrus Tinkamp is on as well, so a whole new front row for the Boks.
It's quite interesting you see the Springbok side, you know, so used to Jean Recruit from the Bulls now. Jean Recruit, Racine Metro, Basson, Leroux. Abana sort of hovering around midfield saying, let me get my hands on the ball in this try feast. I want to have a chance. Here he goes. Here he goes. Here he goes. Over the 22. Digging is it Farid Dupree, now Steyn. Away deep for Vermeulen. Nice ball for Bismarck. Dupree right in behind his forwards very quickly. They played this style of practice at four-ways high the other day. Here's Willie Leroux. Lovely ball out. Oh, no. It was just a little bit too ambitious, I think, over the top there by Willie Leroux.
I think he looked up and he realised that it maybe wasn't on and tried to create something out of nothing with a little hesitation, and then the passes. Pat Lambie comes on and replaces Willie Leroux. He's had a good evening, Willie Leroux. A lot has happened around him. And right now, when you think about man of the match, as early as this, two guys who stood out so far, Adrian Strauss and Willie Leroux, are the two that have been subbed.
Well, there's the sort of positions that do get subs. Capelli coming on at scrum half for his 14th test cap, Thomas Capelli. So the substitutions coming on, they've already, well, they've got a man down. I think it's in the form of Juan. Samatora will come back on, but how many points haven't the Springboks scored since he's been off? 12. We've got 12 of them.
With the changes in the Springboks starting 15, I think the biggest challenge for the replacement players is to maintain the tempo, stay within the structures, especially in a loose game like this. Willie Leroux once again has been outstanding, solid defense, but it's a creativity that gives them the X factor, and also just creating the scoring opportunities for the Springboks.
And it's not just a little chip over the top. Look at the fast feet, the handling skills, the presence of mind when to make the offload and when not to. He really is a skilled attacking player. The little chip for himself on this occasion, well covered by Argentina, but he's had a good evening. He can feel very proud of his efforts.
Stand up.
A credit to Paul Roos.
Inside him.
Also interesting, chatting to Darby Slaman, who's working with the Paul Roos Gymnasium back, saying that his job is to try and open up the flair that these players have, allow them to play the way they want to, teach them to run skillfully.
Isn't it great to hear that the wealth of talent we have in this country? Let's free it up and let it go.
You'd expect that with changes in the front row.
Okay, come this way. Come this way.
Yeah, Gertrude Steel Cup number 17, Kuni Westhuizen.
And of course that is in itself a big test for Kuni Westhuizen this afternoon. Back in the tight head position. Heineke Meyer has been quite vocal in his opinion. Flip van der Merwe about to put his head right in between Kuni Westhuizen and Bismarck's.
Well, the other thing is that, of course, for the first time we have 8 replacements.
Far side.
Penalty against Gertrude.
Yeah, that's spot on. Hinging Gertrude hasn't got his hips about above. Straight down he goes. The bind all is well there. That's hinging.
Well, you can see that Figalo has moved over to the tight head position, and that's his favourite position.
Okay. Big still. I just need you up high. Close, if you're not happy, you step up over it. Come down.
One more change. There's going to be another change for Argentina. Figalo is going to make way. He's had a very decent afternoon. And a team that has really battled, he has stood out.
I was talking about big wins, but way back in 2008, South Africa beat Argentina 63-9 in Johannesburg. Lovely play here by Argentina. They're not done yet. Unfortunate for them that didn't go to hand.
It was a really good backline move, wasn't it? Well structured. It was a good run around. A couple of passes were perfectly timed. Unfortunately, the last one didn't go to hand.
Agusha up in the movement there.
Contapomi with a little blind pop pass to Thomas Kubeli, who has just gone onto the field. And look at that for the timing of the pass. And this is the one that just wasn't maintained, but just lost forward. So another chance for Steenkamp in the scrum, another chance for Kuni Westhuizen, and more so for Westhuizen this time to get that right side up and give South African backs a little bit of attacking space.
Well, the acoustics in this ground are absolutely amazing. Not a massive crowd in terms of seats available here, but China Villiers has done the job again. Looking around, where's Habana? He finds Paklani. Habana! Oh, and Farina Pierce. Timeout, went to the left, TMO. Decision on this. Habana was so close.
There it
And
goes
the try
on.
is given. The referee's assistant. And Farina Pierce, 14th try in international rugby.
And up comes the 50. Wow. Super backline move, and again Jean de Villiers with the sniping break. Look at this. Give credit where it's due. The Argentinians blocked off any runners and didn't give him too many options. He went out wide. Lambie was calling for it. Timed his pass to perfection. Habana looked like he was going to be in. He had men on his inside. Didn't manage to offload. But as the ball pops out the side as a result of some good Pumas pressure, Rudy Bree jumps on it and scores the try. Well, some might argue he's not in an onside position there, but try's been awarded. Score crosses the 50 mark. And on return from Santori in Japan, Farida Breeze on the scoreboard within the first couple of minutes.
Just one miss all evening. Enjoying the practice now. Towards a challenge for him. Look at that. I mean, it's right bang over the middle of the cream colour on the crossbar.
Well, festive atmosphere here at Soccer City. as the Springbok reach half a century. But if anything, it was a set move, and Jean de Villiers had the presence of mind to carry on defensively. They're all marked up on the outside, but yeah, it should have happened a lot earlier. It didn't. Good recycling patience with the ball, the Springboks. That's what they've shown this afternoon.
Tremendous defence too by Kabeli. I must say, here go the Springboks on the front foot again. Power stuff by South Africa. They have to be careful they don't obstruct. Get out of here, Creevy. Dupree waiting for a runner, came in the form of Habana. Dupree again, Stein. Now with Lambie, de Villiers, they need to keep it in field. He does just that to skipper. Dupree waits for a runner, gets it to Stein. Now away for Bismarck du Plessis. Showing good pace, then the power. Men on the outside, a bit of an overlap for South Africa here. Now JJ in the bit, inside, outside, cracks on the pace, cracks on the power, pops it up, can he pop it up? Abana's not going Brian Abana's way today in this feast of tries.
Oh, JJ Engelbrecht did so well. Final pass not going to hand. Was on behind the player's back, and looks 2 missed tackles, almost in fact 3 missed tackles. Eventually a cross came. Leguizamon to make the tackle. Sia Kolisi. On comes Kolisi. It's Francois Lowe. I think in fact it's not. It's Willem Alberts who's making way.
So only Jan Staffontein still to come. So the Deputy President there. So there's Jan Staffontein, what a popular player he's going to become. Barring injury, could be one of the greats of South African rugby.
Well, I think he's that popular player already. He's destined to become one of the greats in time to come. Jean de Villiers, 88th cap today, coming to the latter stages of his Springbok career. Still got a bit in him. It's a good clearance.
Habana, Lambie, men doubling back quickly. Lambie decides to go. Look at the acceleration of this. Kolisi, rather beautiful play by Patrick Lambie. Back inside the Pumas 22. Stein, Bismarck du Plessis. And then worked back again. This is Bjorn Basson. Dupree, Kolisi. Will set the ruck again. Dupree, the good numbers here. South Africa. It's a bit. Fights off one, fights off another. Dupree again. And Habana finally gets the try.
Or does he?
Yep,
Try it is. Well, the Springboks running rampant now. Fans are loving it. They came here, they were hoping for a wonderful Nelson Mandela Sport and Cultural Day, a wonderful day it's been. Look at this from just pure acceleration from Lambie. The little show and go, ball in 2 hands for all the kids out there watching. Straight through the middle, he went, realised nothing on, ball back in 2 hands looking for the offload. And then Etzebeth with the high knee action, driving forward in behind the defence. Look at that. No. And, well, Farouk Dupree, the experience to skip into the man with no one in front of him. Habana is an easy round off and joy for the winger. Ball hasn't gone to him all day, and yet Bjorn Basson's at 5 or 6 runs with 5 or 6 touches. Habana's on the scoreboard.
Simone Stein boots another one.
Once again, total team try here by South Africa. With that, they get Rainbow Nation on their feet as they celebrate. And the 20-year-old young Surfontaine will earn his 4th cap with the Springbok jumper. And he replaces Jean de Villiers, the captain, who had a sterling performance this afternoon.
Vermeulen comes dashing back at this beleaguered Pumas defence. Then Khaleesi, that big man that you heard their commentators earlier on, that were saying they're like mountains. JJ Engelbrecht rather, Bismarck du Plessis is the captain. Now Farid Pierre, Steyn, Khaleesi gets away from one, finds that low, he couldn't find Etzebeth, good pick up by Duprier. Now the ball away for the nuclear skipper, Bismarck du Plessis. Jan Selfontaine got it ripped out of his hand. Still the game being played in a superb spirit, but the Pumas today outgunned.
Look at this, the bench playing a massive impact. Francois Lowe receiving the inside pass from Sia Khaleesi, who must have broken 2 or 3 tackles to get into that position. Just come on, but having a massive impact already. A big frame of Flip Vandermeer walking into picture there. That's a very happy and very content bench. The senior men in the Springbok team getting a little rest here for the last 12 minutes or so. They've had a good evening. They've delivered. It was not an easy start to this game. 23 minutes in, it was 9 points to 6. 30 minutes was the penalty try. And it was these fellas, the beast, Adrian Strauss, Jannie du Plessis in the front row that set things going. Followed up strongly by the rest of the team. That's Danny Jordan on the left, the man who ran the very successful Soccer World Cup in 2010.
World Cup final played at this venue. Francois Lowe. Well, there are 2 Bath players in this Pumas side, so they might get together for a lemonade after the game.
And I'm sure Gary Gold in England will be, the coach of Bath will be watching with the bated breath, not wanting any of his team to suffer any injuries as the game progresses. And just getting up there was Noel Robo, who's seemed to have done himself a little bit of a strain. He's not one of those Bath players. He plays for another English club, Newcastle. 52,000 people, 52,800. Former statesman. And the man in the streets. Well, it's wonderful to see everyone here.
Crouch! Too far away. I want you closer. Ear to ear, please. Ear to ear.
A brand new front row. Remember now, 8 replacements allowed in international rugby.
Crouch!
Bind. Sit. That's the new call.
Better scrum from Guthrist Jenkamp.
And it's a heel against the head. You're going to see quite a lot of that in the future, I think. Jan Selfontaine bears. Can he get it up to somebody? Farida Bria, wonderful pass. Beautiful players. Jerome Vermeulen.
Oh, it's so easy.
South Africa.
So easy when you're on the front foot. Tight head ball. Defense.
Wasn't that a beautiful ball from Farida Bria?
Well, the whole thing just had such momentum. Every single ball was quickly processed. The timing of the passes was superb. Vermeulen has gone over. It was set up by the break by Jan Selfontaine. The Argentinians just running out of defenders. And then came that little inside ball. Look at this. Defense scrambling, stretched. Selfontaine too strong for Contepomi, and then the very quick recycled ball. Out it comes. Morné Steyn times the pass to perfection, and Vermeulen is in.
Well, his first try in international rugby. And, well, Heineke Meyer isn't done yet. Still excited, and I'd rather think that 64 is the highest score we've ever scored against the Pumas. We'll check that out in a moment.
You can see the dejected look on the face of the coaches in the Pumas box, in particular Santiago Phelan, the coach of the Pumas. And that's another great strike from Morné Steyn.
So that does exceed the 63 points South Africa playing scored against the Pumas, also in Johannesburg.
What's changed with this Springbok side? They're more accurate with ball in hand. Today everything's been crisp. The running line spot on. Good decision making all around. And that great try for Dave Vermeulen.
So an error to compound matters for the Argentines.
Doesn't that happen so often? You're under the cosh, seriously under the cosh, and then you get a kick-off awry.
And it's that point in the game, 66-6. In fact, some time ago when the ruck began, where all you're really playing for is some little bit of respect, and that respect has dissipated very, very quickly indeed.
Crouch!
So that is Lopez. He's a man who has been missed terribly this afternoon by this Pumas team. His guts, his determination, his leadership ability.
Well, look how they're just walking with that Argentine scrum now. Steyn, Engelbrecht, forgot about the ball. Good hands by Lambie. Basson. Duprier. When it's a bit spilted.
One of the few handling errors we've seen from the Springboks this afternoon. It's a bit coming on at absolute pace, just not able to keep the ball. So Farida Breeze back into Test rugby. This is what he's got up to this afternoon so far, still with a couple of minutes left. What he does do is he clears very quickly. He's right in the right place at the right time. He reads the game superbly. And look at that for good reading. Not only did he score the try, he timed his pass to perfection a couple of times. Quick clearance enabled Morné Steyn to play that inside ball. Welcome back, Farida Breeze.
Too unstable, boys. Let's get steady. Come on.
So Kamea took a little bit of a risk bringing him back in. And the risk has certainly paid off.
So didn't play at all last year. Kamea, but still gets excited every time South Africa score a try, and he scored 8 of them this evening.
He still looks quite stressed.
Chewing away at his nails.
Up we come. Just a slip. Come slow, boys.
I think it's really impressed with the benches. They maintained the momentum. They kept the structures. So definitely the second-tier players as such are right up there with those guys that started. So plenty of competition in the Springbok squad. Vast difference from the way they started last year, a year ago against Argentina. They'll be concerned with only the 6 points.
Crouch!
They pushed South Africa in the opener down in Cape Town.
Well, they gave them a little bit of a step side hiding in Cape Town last year, but then went to Mendoza and were lucky to draw the game.
Off the arm, please.
So it's job done here tonight.
For South Africa, it's job done. For Santiago Phelan, it's back to the drawing board.
Absolutely.
He's got a massive challenge to rekindle some confidence, some self-belief, and some ability in this team that has underperformed considerably this evening.
Perfect punt by Morné Steyn, right onto the 5-meter line, where we see yet another maul try. What do you think, Alan?
Absolutely, definitely setting up there. The flow is on there. They definitely got to go through those moves that work so hard on it. Practice, they're going to make sure they come off. The driving ball has been good. I'd really like to see shift the contact point after meeting that resistance from Argentina.
8 tries to the Springbok. No one scored more than one. 26 points to Morné Steyn.
And the crowd loving it so much. There's such a din that Bismarck had to go and learn the call again.
Soaring take by Sia Khaleesi. Bismarck has it. It's over the line. Try. And Bismarck du Plessis goes over John Smith's record of tries scored by Springbok hooker.
Well, Owen called it a little bit of a shift. Not so much a shift away from the point of contact, but a shift to the back of the lineup. The throw from Bismarck was very accurate indeed. Up went Sia Khaleesi, then came the structured maul. The attempt to collapse it, not good enough from Matara, and then came the big drive and the little bit of a sideways lateral movement, just offsetting the Pumas defence. And, well, you could see the jubilation across the faces of this whole pack of forwards as they all knew that Bismarck was in behind them.
Well, they're just outpowered, out-muscled, and frankly outplayed this Pumas side. Came here with a lot of expectations. They've been together for a month. They've had great advice from Graham Henry, the World Cup winning All Black coach. And Morné Steyn will look to see if he can get up to 28 points on the evening. Holds its line, but doesn't quite get over the crossbar. I beg your pardon, it did. So they move up to 73. Another superb kick by Morné Steyn.
South Africans, bread and butter, good line out, good forward maul, body position spot on.
And Farouk Dupree will claim that he was helping push Bismarck over.
Well, you get to a point where you sort of say, well, I think this game should now come to an end because the Pumas are a sorry lot. And one doesn't like to see at this sort of level a team really getting so badly beaten. But nobody who's a Springbok supporter will dispute the fact that the Springboks have been very, very efficient. Think back, they beat Italy by 100 points to South Africa. They beat Uruguay about 133-0. Here goes Jan Saffa. They break in circles, left, right and centre. It's a dreadful pass to Habana. Desperate stuff for Argentina, and Saffa trying to get the ankle tap. Good play back there by Leguizamo. He's been the real try in this Pumas side. Sanchez. That little ball that they're getting, look, they're just running into a brick wall here. Good hands by Contepomi. Worked back by Creevy, the replacement hooker. Now out by the scrum half, Kubeli.
It's the first time the Pumas have managed to look after the ball in the second half.
I think it's almost the first time, apart from kickoffs, that they've been in the Springboks half. And now they get driven back into their own half. Georgia Engelbrecht holding up. Is there a Springbok down there? And they continue. It's Creevy, gets it on the inside. And away Contepomi gets the consolation try. And it's good that it goes to the captain.
He was behind the ball.
So it was a pretty good try, wasn't it? Through the phases, read the Pumas. They were strong in their build-up. Some good interpassing between backs and forwards, created some space on the outside. The big fellas on the outside had the presence of mind to time their pass as well. A little bit disrupted there in defence for South Africa, but look at this, the little timing of the pass. The presence to make that pass at the right time, and then realising that Contepomi could get in the final inside pass. Good consolation try for Argentina, and at least something to talk about later tonight.
Easy kicking style of Contepomi, puts it over the crossbar, and the referee blows his whistle for half-time. Only Kamani.
Outstanding performance by South Africa. Brian Habana extended his try-scoring record to 51 for South African winger, or any South African player for that matter. But a job well done by the Springboks, clinical on the day.
Well, quite amazing that the Springboks scored 9 tries, Joel, and no one scored 2.
Well, I think what was most important, not a great start for South Africa. It took them 30 minutes to find their rhythm, their timing, find some momentum, but once they found it, they were absolutely sublime. Coaches talk about accuracy. A couple of passes didn't go to hand. The bulk of the time, though, I would guess Heineke Mary is very happy with the accuracy, with the setup, with the go forward, and with 9 tries. It's a super start to the Rugby Championship 2013.
Well, it's been a day and a half here at Nelson Mandela Sport and Recreation Day. South Africa victorious, 73-13.
Yes, sir.
Well done, man.
Well, a thumping win for South Africa and a memorable day here at the FNB Stadium. And let's go down to Ona Kamani.
Well, thank you so much, Hugh. Well, and a record-breaking score for South Africa today against Argentina. Not quite the ideal performance from the Argentines. Now I'm joined by losing captain Philippe Contepome. Tough day at the office. He started off well, but just couldn't hang on.
Yeah, a very tough day at the office. I think that we need to improve a lot. I think that South Africa played a magnificent game. They were inspired, and once they are on the front foot, it's very difficult to stop them. Physically, they rule us out of the game. So I think we have to prepare well after the trip, prepare well for the next week.
Do you think there's still time to improve? You guys, most of your players are coming on from an off-season, maybe not quite there in terms of intensity of test match?
Yeah, if we want, we can look for many excuses. I can give you 100 excuses, but we don't look for excuses. I think we are very grateful that we are in this tournament. For us, every game is a learning curve. Today it's very tough to swallow, and I hope we come stronger for next week. We need to keep growing. We know we are playing against the 3 best teams in the world, so for us it's a great challenge, and I hope that next week we are better than today.
Good luck for next week.
Sorry?
All the best next week.
Thank you very much.
Safe travels. The winning captain is really out there shaking hands with the rest of South Africa after a sterling performance. Jean, job well done. Superb start compared to last year.
Yeah, it was. I don't think we can say too much about the score. I think we played well at times, but there's still a lot to work on. So it's a good start to the competition, and obviously we had a hell of a lot to play for today. So hopefully we made a lot of people proud today.
Jean definitely did, but 70 points. What more do you really need to work on that you're not quite happy with today?
There's still areas that we can improve on. So I think the try that we let in at the end is a bit disappointing, but there's definitely signs of us evolving and making sure that we take our opportunities. There were still situations in the game where we created opportunities and didn't capitalize on that, but you can't complain too much when you win 73-11.
A lot of hard work put in the breakdown point. Happy with the progress?
I think it's a great improvement, and you can just see the work that Richie Gray has put into the team, and it's paying off for us now. But again, it's 1 out of 6 games now, and we've still got 5 very tough games ahead.
Joe, good luck and all the best next week down in Argentina.
Yeah, thank you very much, and I would like to again thank the whole of South Africa for today. Today was more than just for sport. It was about a day for all South Africans. So hopefully Mandela can have a smile today.
I can assure you now, South Africa's proud to have you as a captain.
Thank you very much.
Job well done, John de Villiers and his team, but there's always one man who puts his hands up much better than all others. Jean and Adrian Strauss. Adrian, today you did a sterling job. The basics were in.
It was a great team effort today. We knew that it was going to be very tough and physical, especially the first 30 minutes, and we knew that we just had to chip away at them the whole game, and I think everyone had an outstanding game today.
New sequence at scrum time. How did you guys find that?
Yeah, I know it's a bit different, but we worked hard at it. Credit to the coaches, our coaches. I think Coach Peter, we've been working on this since last year. We've been building towards this, so credit to him. And I think the guys just we knew we had to scrum very hard. Argentinians can scrum, so very proud of the guys today.
Adrian, you guys must have really enjoyed your scrums. There was a time when Yanni du Plessis was pleading with Jean to go for the scrum instead of 3 points. What was going on there?
I think Yanni and Bees, they were both very positive, and they wanted to get the ball into the scrum and maybe keep it in a bit, but I think the right calls at the right time, and it just shows the excitement up front, and guys were willing to put everything out there.
Well, they did too. For your efforts today, courtesy of the tournament sponsor, Castle Lager, you receive a Kruger Rand, and MD of SA Breweries, Marisha Lever, presents the prize.